I actually got a question from a fan, and it's really interesting. And here he goes. I'm in a relationship, not married, but we have 2 kids and a house. We share bills, but my partner doesn't want to marry. Why is that? They have everything, but the marriage, the document.
Ooh,
Why?
ooh, I would
Why? I
want to
mean,
know.
That's a special kind of irk for me, if I'm being honest with you.
A ver, explain why is it an irk?
It's an irk because, look, I've never understood people that look at marriage in a negative way and say it's just a piece of paper. That has never made sense to me because it's clearly more than a piece of paper. Like, that's like if you go, people that go to college are like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. It's like, no, it's what you learned along the way. It's the ability to think more deeply and like learn specific skills. There's more to it than a piece of paper. Same with the marriage. You're signing up for this big thing where, I'll be honest, you're stuck in there with them and you need to figure out how to make it work. And that's a really important part of marriage that most people don't like to like really think about too deeply. They just want to think about like the Disney story, right? Happily ever after. I'm like, no, that's the beginning of the story. It hasn't even started yet. So the special irk though, it's just I work with probably 80% women. And a lot of them are just too scared to ask for what they want. I have had a girl tell me like, wait, you can tell your boyfriend or husband that you don't want them to like bikini pictures of like IG girls. You can actually ask them that. I'm like, what? You can ask them to not look at porn. You can ask them to like, you feel uncomfortable if they have female friends. And the big one is like, I don't want to scare them off if we talk about marriage. So that's where I'm not saying it's the girl's fault. What I'm saying is I think people should really advocate for themselves. And most of the time when I have women like that where they're basically married but no paper, no official marriage, is because they did not want to advocate for themselves because they were too scared the other person would like want to leave.
wow.
Really often that's the case. Because I get to hear their private thoughts, remember. I'm kind of like a priest. I get to genuinely hear what they actually think about something. And most of the time they tell me, I'm just scared that I'm going to scare them off if I ask for more.
Wow. What do you tell them when they tell you that?
Well, I do a lot of self-esteem work and a lot of like boundaries because they have no idea how to ask for things or how to advocate for themselves because they have a genuine fear. Most of them have something called a anxious attachment, which means they're really scared to lose the partner. And they're very likely to like bend over for the other partner because they just don't want to lose them. That's what's happened. There's a fear there. And very often they end up getting with someone who has something called a dismissive attachment, which is very independent people. The idea of being locked down is really scary to them. They don't like it. They still want a relationship, but they want a little bit of distance at the same time, right? Somewhere in the middle. And
So that sounds like the guy that doesn't want to get married.
yeah.
See, it's still the same problem.
And you know what's sad? You always hear the same story too. They're like, oh, but he was so amazing. Like when we first got together, he'd call me all the time. He'd buy me gifts. He'd take me out. He was like love bombing. And then what happened after a while, he just started like stopping doing that. And that's what dismissive, avoidant people do. They love bomb you at the beginning, particularly the guys. They love bomb you at the beginning. And once you get a relationship and things get actually deep and vulnerable, that's when they start kind of like drifting away because they don't want to get too vulnerable. They're scared to get hurt.
Wow. Do
So-
you think they've had traumas?
Oh, 100%. That's why you even developed that.
No.
It basically, they found out I can't get too vulnerable with someone because it only hurts me.
But I don't get it. You had kids still. You still had kids, and you still like live in one house. What's the problem?
No, this is the problem is it's a business. It's a business, it's a contract, it's a guarantee. That's what it is. Do you understand? If I have to go through this life with you, I want to make sure that legally also I'm backed up. Period. No, it's true. How I get to wash your dirty calzones all day long, but now when you die, everything goes to your sister.
For real.
Does that make sense? No. Girls, you said, no, I don't care about anything else. This is a contract. This is a business. I'm going to contribute to this business of life just like you're going to contribute to this business of life. I would like to have a contract in writing. That's it. Because one day you want to leave, we have it in writing that you will give me half. It's a contract. It's a guarantee I have. It's a guarantee you have. Period. That's it. And we have that same feeling when we want to ask for a raise.
Yep.
And we have that same feeling when we want to get promoted, when we want to do something, when we want to get a show. I don't want to lose this. And you do everything in your power. Right. Then we won't sign a contract. That
Yeah.
with just a handshake. And how does that end? But we don't ask for a contract because we're scared. Ask for a contract. Be smart and say, hey, I'm doing it for both of us. And if you expect me to do this with you, then I need a contract. That's it. Make it as a business. As a business, I need this to make sense business-wise.
There you go.
That way the man can go, all right, that's a valid reason. Fuck it. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. Tax purpose. You gave me a breakdown of how rationally this makes total sense. You're right. It is not fair that you will be out of pocket later because I didn't want to marry you. So make it sense for a man like that, and he can push back. He'll go, you're right. I see. You're getting screwed on the deal.
Yeah.
If you make sense like that to a man,
Yeah.
they're gonna go, okay, where do I sign? You're right. I am screwing you at the
There
end.
you go.
Yeah.
You just showed me here.
makes sense.
Let's do the wedding for that reason.
Don't be shy.
I agree.
Don't
That
be
makes
shy.
sense because I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel like okay, well, one, if this person is clearly unhappy, yeah, you should have asked those questions. Like, I'm not gonna give you 2 kids. You're not giving me anything. You're screwing me over.
Yeah, and before you even start, you go, no, come on, let's do this contract. Because at the end, I'm gonna pay out of pocket. I'm gonna be out. You're not.
Very well.
Make
I
that
like
contract,
that.
ladies.
Make it,
Contract,
make
baby.
it happen.
Separate the love and business.
Make it happen. I love that. All right. How about this one? This is interesting because we're talking about marriage, but this one, they're not married. The question is it okay for my mother-in-law to tell me how to spend my money? I currently live with my girlfriend and her parents, and we are expecting a child of our own. So mother-in-law is telling him, hey, why are you spending money over there?
Her son. She's telling
No.
her son.
This is the mother-in-law
The mother-in-law.
telling her, her daughter's
Husband,
soon-to-be
or-
husband or baby daddy.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I need you to be spending money over here. Don't be, why are you buying those Rams tickets? Should you buy? Don't you need to buy a house? Don't you need to get somewhere? You have a family here. Why are you buying? Can she?
Should she?
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
she? Should she?
They come to you with this problem. How do you deal with that one?
You know, I've come across this problem, and I had to have a conversation with the person, and this is what I told them.
How much for the Ram tickets?
Yes.
First,
Priorities, yes. That was my first question. My second question, or the second thing I told this person was, look, no one can tell you how to, say, run your marriage and run your money and things like that. Like, it's your life. But your decisions have consequences, and they affect other people. If you're living under the roof of your in-law, they can't tell you how to live your life, but if it's starting to negatively impact them in some way, they have the right to tell you, like, hey, it's impacting me, and that's a deal breaker. I'm going to have to cut you loose. So, for example, if you're living there and you're not taking it as a time to save up money so you guys could set up for the future, and all you're doing is just leeching and mooching off of this person, he has every right to kick you out if he really wants to.
yeah.
So, no, they can't tell you how to live your life, but if it's negatively impacting other people, they definitely have a right to tell you something.
What do you think, Boo?
I think you're absolutely right. Yes. Listen, my house, my rules. You don't like it, get out. Querías una mamalona? Listen, now we're living in mom's garage. You got to make better choices. It's true. You don't like the way they're talking to you, then guess what? Get out. One of the things that my dad always taught us is, you guys as kids never lived in an apartment building because I didn't want anybody to tell my kids what they can do in their house. Period. I busted my butt and make sure you guys always had a home, a house, where nobody, if you want to dig a hole in your backyard, knock yourself out, kid. Dig a hole and nobody's going to tell you anything. That's your hole. That's your piece of land. So if you don't want people to say anything to you, pay your own bills, do it on your own. If you're complaining, maybe you should reassess and go, hey, maybe I am wrong. But no, they're going to butt in. Too bad.
Ooh, yeah.
I just think in general, if you live in someone's house, you just gotta abide by the rules and not get on their nerves, or, because, I mean, if you don't like it, then leave.
Yeah.
And listen, your $300
easy.
a month is not rent. You understand? That's pity. That's what they pay for cable. That's cable. You pay the
That's
trash and
electricity.
cable. That's all you're paying. So get off your high fucking box and go. Hey, I pay too. Relax, relax. You're not paying anything but $300.
And then the babysitting.
And the babysitting's
For
for free.
free.
Come on,
Oh.
come on. No.
Oh,
Get
my
off
God.
your soapbox and
Literally.
relax.
And they're still not saving.
Oh no, but they get cocky.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
what? I put in 300.
I pay rent here.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I know. It's funny, huh?
That is
That's-
It's
hilarious.
funny because
Yeah,
they'll use it as a
Those
badge
are-
of honor. No, but I pay rent. No,
Like
Those
what?
are pennies.
I pay rent.
In California, those are pennies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
This guy in Wisconsin going, well, that sounds pretty good.